I came into this world, didn't see consistency, didn't have support. The people in my life did the very best they could. My husband, just my greatest supporter. He's never turned it off. I mean, he'll be sick as a dog. He'll be exhausted or whatever. He has tons of things happen, and he's always thinking about his family, always thinking about us. I think that's so amazing and inspiring, and it just kicks me up a notch to make me want to be better. And
it does.
I want to be a better wife to him. I want to be the best mom I can be because he's the best dad.
As humans, we're constantly seeking. What are you seeking? And are you seeking peace? Are you seeking someone who feeling at peace with them, just being in their presence? Everyone has some type of traumas. It could have been a child in school. It could have been your home is great, but a teacher take years to get over.
Yeah.
But to have somebody that puts you at ease, that is just something that I'm just like, that is so like, tell me more,
That's
you know?
the best explanation.
Hey, and we're back with another episode of the T. Smith Experience with the Too Skilled to Fail podcast in mind. I'm here today with Autumn Joy Edwards. Now, this is my girl, Autumn. This is my girl, and I'll say that because let me tell you how we met. I'm going to tell the world.
Tell the story.
But I'll tell from my
them.
perspective.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. We'll start that way because I saw you. Somehow it was one of those recommendations from Facebook.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's somebody we knew, but however that happens on Facebook.
Probably.
The universe.
Yes.
Whatever we want to call it. Yeah. But you were a recommendation. I was like, she is so pretty. Oh, and she looks like she can be my sister.
Oh, my gosh. People, you know what's funny?
My
People
beautiful
say
sister.
That. People say that.
They do?
I have had so many people, when you came to my birthday weekend, everyone was like, is that your sister? I'm like, well, yes. Yes, she is.
I do. I see you look like one of my sisters. So I was like, she can be one of my sisters. And I was like, I want to know her. And I was like, let me try my luck and just Facebook Messenger. You know, there's guys that reach out to you, or there's people who want to sell you something or talked about Bitcoin or something to you.
Yeah.
But I was like, I live in Vegas. She lives in Vegas. Let me just reach out to her and see if she would friend me back. And then I don't know if you remember that message to you. It was so timid.
I'll never forget.
I was like, hi, I know you don't know me, but.
It was sweet. And I will be very honest. I was like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, what? Because I get hit on by men and women. And I was like, what is this? Because I'm just not used to someone as genuine as you. Just, you know, reaching out just because and just to make a friend. That is... Yeah, it's not really happening these days like that. It
doesn't. And also, I'm new here. So I don't know if I would have particularly done it if I was still living in the Bay Area. I had not ever done that. Yeah. But I basically have been trying to do a reach, and I want to get to know people, and I want to do stuff in the city. I don't want it to just be by way of dating apps. I want it to be genuine people that I want to go out and do stuff with. And that, granted, I didn't even know because your profile was private until you accept me. But I was like, I don't even know what she does, but I just want to get to know this woman for whatever reason. Like I said, it's the universe.
It was destiny. Yeah. It was.
And then you turned around and showed up at the fashion show. That's the first time
that was fun.
we met.
That was fun, yeah.
That was good. I was like, she's gonna, and I think I told you last minute too.
You did, yeah.
I said, I'm starting off this friendship wrong.
And you reached out a few times, and we chatted in the inbox, and I'm like, gosh, she seems so cool, and I'm in need of friends here. You know, you just gotta just go for it. I mean, there's always the power in when you show up that you'll never regret it, and there was something super important you needed to show up and receive. So that was one of those moments. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm definitely glad. I mean, we've been hanging out since then. We're soul sisters now.
Yes.
So you stuck with me, I'm stuck with you. That's what we're doing. I got a whole niece and everything.
Yes. She loves her auntie too.
There we go. So we're good to go on that one.
Yeah.
I want the audience to know, we always like to start off and tell the audience what we do because we're always giving nuggets, but I want us to talk about also what we do. Brag a little bit about yourself.
Oh, gosh, that is not my strong suit. Well, I am a business owner. I co-own a business with my husband. We have a commercial janitorial company. We have just, I'm like ready to celebrate. We have just finally, after 5 years here in Vegas, expanded the company here in Vegas. So I'm super excited about that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's a lot of work, though. It's almost like building a new business while we've had this business for 8+ years.
It is.
So we have that going on. And then I just started my own business that is super exciting for me. And it really just speaks to our story and my journey since I've been here, and even prior to coming to Vegas, it really is going to be something that is so close and near and dear to me, more than anything else I've done. And so I'll announce that, maybe towards the end of the show.
Okay,
But
well.
it's so new. It's so new. And I'm also an artist. I can't turn it off. It is just who I am. I am singing all day long. I'm writing songs, writing poems, dissecting music. Like, it is just my love. And I'm a retired model.
There you go. Why retire? Someone told me today. I told him, he was asking me, he said, do you model? And I was like, oh no, that's long gone for me, because do I model? That's a different mindset for me. Will I take pictures, and will I do some brand advertisement here and there? But for me to say I'm a model, I was really big on that in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And really wanting to put it out there that I was a model. And I model right now. Will I take pictures, and will I do some brand and marketing help every once in a while? Or if I'm pitch an idea, I'll do it possibly. But no.
But
retired.
But do you want to, right? Do you want to model? Or?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
No.
I mean, you're gorgeous enough. You should.
Thank you. Likewise. See, this is all. I don't know how this conversation is about to go. It's just the shower is the shower, the shower. I mean, but I love it, and I appreciate this. Well, I'll keep on the modeling, but I appreciate this because women, being able to promote other women, and not even think twice about it. It's one of those, you didn't have to give me that back, or vice versa. It was just like, friend, do you know how beautiful you are? And we can go back and forth all day for that, because one thing is the beauty in looking at you, but also the beauty in your personality. Thank you. And that just shines all the time. And I didn't know if you were going to be a diva.
Everybody thinks that about me.
Or if you were just going to be just a sweetheart, and you're just so sweet. You're so much more, we all have our backstories, but you're so much more like humbled. And we had this recent conversation. Autumn and I are really good friends outside of this, so we have those conversations about our background and lifestyles. And if you had met me here, I'd have been a different person. But today, and how you showed up, it was what I was hoping to receive when I met you.
I appreciate that. Thank you for pursuing me and reaching out and being so brave, because I lived through that. I'm really trying to be brave, and I guess I am in my actions. Like, I could have not showed up, but I did, and it was the best thing. I have one of the best friends out of you, and it's something I couldn't have even predicted it. So thank you for that.
You are so welcome.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we share in common. One, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Our backgrounds in entertainment in general. Again, for me, it wasn't music; it was modeling or some type of entertainment in that, or speaking. But for you, you have so much of a roster of things that you've done. What's
do you, girl.
What's the biggest accomplishment you think you've made so far?
Gosh, that's a great question. Honestly, I mean, we could talk about the artistry and all the things that I've done over the years. We could say the business, it's feeding the family. That's a success. But honestly, the first thing that came to mind when you asked that is the accomplishment for me of healing and meeting my husband, my best friend, and what that represents, because it's deeper than just, I have a great man, I'm married, and our family that we've built. That would be my greatest accomplishment, and it's because I've just worked on myself. I've gotten myself to a place where this is what gravitated to me. The universe brought this amazing man to me that, gosh, we have so much in common. And we're so opposite in the best ways, where we teach each other things. And I always prayed for a family. I always wanted a big family. I have 4 daughters. And I feel so blessed, with that. They're my support system. So I would say that's my greatest accomplishment.
That's good. Yeah. Just tapping on you talking about meeting your husband and having, there's past relationships that you and I have both had, and we talked about this a little bit, but I feel this is a good conversation to have. It's early on in this conversation, but I feel like, digging in a little bit deeper, because we talked about recently how we had the traumas from the past that we felt were normal.
Oh, gosh.
They were things that happened were just like, I felt that was just our normal thing.
It was our norm, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
If you
sad.
grew up with turmoil in the household and you get in a relationship and there's turmoil, you're like, I'm used to that part. This is
Yeah.
nothing. I've seen worse.
Yeah.
And so you compare it like that. And so now having your husband, Kenny,
Yeah.
having him and, kind of open up a whole new side of you, I can imagine, right?
Absolutely. So a little about my husband and what makes us work, and even this is the magic to me in our situation. My husband grew up so opposite from me, in a sense that he grew up in a 2-parent household. His parents are still married and madly in love to this day. They are so supportive, and literally they don't miss a beat with their kids today, present day. They're at everything. Their grandkids, they're at everything. And so his outlook on life, just with that much, is just so different than mine. I grew up with my mother, who did the best she could. I had a stepdad that was an addict, and he did the very best he could. And for me to say that and get to the place where I can say that they did the best they could, especially stepdad, because there's a lot of trauma there, a lot of trauma. That I'm so proud of myself for that, and I'm so blessed to have my husband, because he is like, I always call him my mentor. He's like, no, we have other mentors. I'm like, no, but you're you're my mentor, because I came into this situation and just have moved through life so rowdy and just in my emotions and thinking I'm healed, but not healed much. And just when things happen to you, it makes you a bit self-absorbed in that, why me? And this is only happening to me. And you just kind of really come down on yourself. And he's really made me see my life and all these different things that have transpired in a different way. He really is truly the reason why I'm so healed. I don't think you can ever be fully healed. But I have gotten so far in my healing journey, I think, because of him.
Isn't that
He's
what we
such a
pray
voice
for?
of reason. Yeah.
Yes.
He's amazing.
That is what we pray for. And if we can find it in a mate, that's amazing. If we can find it in a friendship, if we can find that, we are all, I feel like as humans, we're constantly seeking. And what are you seeking? And are you seeking peace? Are you seeking someone who not necessarily brings you peace, but you are feeling at peace with them, just being in their presence.
Definitely.
Because the fact that he didn't have
That's
as
so real.
the same type of traumas. Everyone has some type of
Yes.
traumas. It could have been a child in school. It could have been your home is great, but a teacher,
Right.
child in school does some things to where you just take years to get over.
Yeah.
But
We
to
all
have somebody that
stuff.
puts you at ease, that is just something that I'm just like, that is so like, tell me more,
That's the best explanation. It's such a peaceful feeling. I feel so at peace. And life is I wake up every day and I'm still in shock. I'm like, this is crazy. It's so quiet and it's so drama free. And we don't really, we have little, we both have strong opinions, but honestly, we don't argue much. We just talk and have we work together in our businesses and we're friends. We're together all day, really. And we're not tired of each other. We are really, truly best friends. Yeah. Really, really, truly that. Yeah.
So I'm just going to have to say, what do you do to keep it spicy?
Girl. I know, right? I feel like sometimes I fall short, but what I will say is I'm always thinking of everyone outside of myself. I'm always thinking of everyone, and really not as much myself. So I'm a deep thinker. I'm thinking out months ahead. I'm a planner. That's just my brain is that. So, I'm always thinking of some creative, cute way to, just show him I love him, spice up the bedroom.
Right.
We do a lot of dates at home because we have our little girl and, we don't always have a babysitter and we don't always want to go out.
Right.
So sometimes we sit in the living room. Like tonight, I'm gonna grab some wine, bring it home, and then maybe get his favorite thing, which is sushi. And we're gonna have a date in the living room, and
that is perfect.
It's going, go from there.
That is perfect. That is perfect. Just being spontaneous.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I like. I'm the type of person, especially when I'm deep in work mode.
Yeah.
Hustle, 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 work, 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 run, 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 run. And it's so amazing when you just stop and the person stops with you. Because sometimes, they're like, well, shoot, you've been so busy.
Yeah.
I didn't think I didn't want to distract you. I didn't want to if someone could just stop you in your tracks. Oh, I feel like that is so attractive. One, for me to stop someone in their tracks and they actually reciprocate and vice versa.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's what I get at home, when I'm at home and when I'm with my partner. But it's just having someone stop and be like, yeah, I see you.
Yeah, definitely. What is this is something I've always wanted to get in a deep discussion about, romance. What does that mean to you? Because, I know we go to the typical thing, but what is romantic and for you?
I say it changes so much. So romantic to me could be, again, doing something, their favorite thing. Yeah. Romantic to me, though, for the most part, is my love language. So I'm talking about love languages to get the romance right now is, so for me, my love language is words of affirmation. And then it's also just quality time. Yeah. So when it comes to romance, if words of affirmation, you say the right things. And to me, the right things has nothing to do with a physical thing, Yeah. Right? Oh my gosh. I love what you did with your hair. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love,
Just a little affirming
Did you do something different? Just noticing, just kind of noting something. So if I did something and then you actually just take a moment and be like, oh, I love that. Yeah. So for me, I grew up with my mother having us do fashion shows in the house. Oh, and I talked about it in one of the shows, but we get some new clothes for school. She'll have us try on the clothes, and she did fashion shows.
I love that.
So I'm putting it on. I feel like, okay, it looks good because, we were part of also helping. She let us pick out our clothes too, and that was fun too. So what we picked out, did we really like it? And she said, oh, Tanisha, that looks good. Aww. To me, it just... Oh, to have a partner or a romantic person say something that is just more so like, I think I look good. Yeah. But for you to say it without me kind of displaying, walking up to you, like, what do you think? What do you think? Just me walking in the room, I do all kinds of stuff with my hair, my makeup, and like, what did you do something different with your makeup? Yeah. Just noticing that little, little change that I did. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying a new blush today.
I love that too.
And this is a man who is probably, if you talk, this is Rouge number 73, he'd be like, okay, over my head. It looks good.
Those
it looks
type
good.
Of, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How about for you?
I love the same thing, honestly. It's simple for me. My husband and I have talked about this over the years because we started, before we were married, we did marriage counseling with other married couples. We might have been the only couple that wasn't married yet, but we were like, we want to prepare for marriage. So we learned a lot of things like the love languages, and we dug into all of these kind of, exercises that get you to know your person in a deeper way and really their character traits, which is all that deep science stuff. So I really, really love that. I think that I come off to everyone, which is so crazy. I come off this certain way where it might seem like I want all this elaborate, lavish stuff. The dates have to be super expensive, and that's not who I am. I'm literally just so chill. I really am. I don't know what I look like, but I'm so chill, and it's really the little things like that. Like romance for me and my husband, I hope you watch this, and I hope you believe this finally, because he's he still gets stressed and has a little pressure of what he thinks I think romance is. And he thinks that I think for the most part, he thinks it costs money. It doesn't. It's free. Romance could be just coming behind me, grabbing me, kissing me on the neck. Like you said, just if I'm always doing something to myself. I put these nails on, and he said, wow, babe, I love the color of those nails. Right. Thanks, babe. Right. Just little, gosh, you smell good. What are you wearing?
What is that one? Yeah.
Just little stuff like that. Write me a little note. My husband used to do
leave
that.
It somewhere.
He used to make my lunches for work, which is so funny. And he would make a napkin note, and I kept every single napkin note. That's awesome. I had them on display at our wedding. We had a table, and it was hundreds of napkin notes from over the years. Him just writing something cute. Little freaky, nasty stuff and then little funny.
Yes.
He's so funny.
Yeah.
Funny stuff.
Yes, that comedic. Yes, that that
know,
comedic side of him.
he is
same
hilarious,
thing.
right?
What I perceived of him was totally different than
Oh
when
my
I got to
gosh.
actually hang out with him. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you are funny.
He's hilarious.
You are
girl.
funny.
He has me cracking up every day. He's so silly.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
so
love
I
it.
mean, just also accommodating. I think that's something that's important too. What's romantic to me, or what gets me going is
Yeah.
for someone who can just be in their environment.
Yes.
And to me, that's so attractive. If I can see
Absolutely.
you talking in front of a group of CEOs with me at this conference that I
Yeah.
have to be at, but at the same time you're mixing with me and just hanging out with me and the girls for whatever reason, and then mixing with me and my other friends. Like I
Right.
grew up in high school with someone,
Yeah.
and she was from the guy I'm talking to. She was like, "Oh my gosh," she's like, "He is just like so fun. He's so cool," and I'm like, "I love that." It made me just get all excited again. I want that. I'm not the one that I'm a girl's girl, and I love to support people in general. But I don't mind if someone just be like, "Oh my gosh, he is so hospitable. Oh my gosh, he's," because what he shows to the world for me is important. As long as he
Yeah.
doesn't change that up in the home
Yeah,
and
yeah.
right and so opposite and doesn't do those same kind gestures, and he's just doing it for the show of
Yeah.
other people.
Right.
That's a totally different thing.
Consistency is
Right?
so important.
Be consistent in the house
Yeah.
and when we're in public.
Yes.
And I'm going to adore you as a
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Consistency. That's that's a magic key component too, is and big for me, like the actions piece and how you said they just kind of stay the same. Not, we're around all my family and you're being all polished and super mannerable, and then when everybody leaves, you don't open my door, or you're just
Right.
kind of watching me struggle with the trash or something. That is a huge thing for me because I came into this world and didn't see consistency, didn't have support. Again, the people in my life did the very best they could, but my husband is just my greatest supporter. He's never turned it off. I mean, he'll be sick as a dog. He'll be exhausted or whatever. He has tons of things happen, and he's always thinking about his family, always thinking about us. I think that's so amazing and inspiring, and it just kicks me up a notch to make me want to be better. And
It does.
I want to be a better wife to him. I want to be the best mom I can be because he's the best dad. I'm like, I got to make sure, and we're so competitive. So I think there's a little competitiveness in there. I'm like,
that keeps it spicy. Yeah.
I want my kids to think I'm cool too and I'm fun. And, it's so funny. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
good. That's definitely good. I mean, for a couple, like your power couple, I'm going to say,
Thank
like the
you.
two
Oh
of
my
you
gosh.
who are
Thank
doing so much in your business and
Yeah.
showing what your daughter, because you have your daughter together, showing her what consistency look like. That is
Yeah.
just a gem in itself for us to be able to
Yeah.
show our kids. Like, we might have not had all those things growing up for ourselves, but we're going to show you a little bit different.
Yeah.
What different looks like for all of us could be different, right? Some
Yeah.
people probably have the two-parent household, but the two parents were so distracted and not really there, present.
Yeah.
Maybe they had to work a lot, and that
Yeah.
happens a lot in households where finances are not all the ways there. But the two of you put so much time and energy into your daughter, and I'm saying this because I know,
Thank you.
and I
Yeah.
see what you're doing and the time that you spend with your daughter, and I know you just did her birthday, and she wanted to have her birthday at a nice fancy
Yeah.
spot, and
She's so
just
funny,
kind of
yeah.
taking her out, little princess out for a
Yeah.
time out, a date night that she can actually appreciate later on.
Yeah. Yeah. She's
Right?
our third, what is it? The Three Musketeers. It's us. She
Right.
really, she wants to do every single thing with us. And she's even all up in our conversations. I'm trying to work on that, though. I'm like, baby, I got
Right.
that
This
old
is-
school in me. My grandparents raised me.
Kids stay
too.
out the
And
adult conversations.
Girl, I'm like, you don't, I have all that. Oh, and some of the old school stuff is a little barbaric, So I'm trying to. My husband is also my coach with that because he parents so different. But yeah, I'm trying to balance because that old school stuff is what to me. I'm like, that's what
It's a
made
look.
me who I am, and I am proud of who I am. And some of that tough, those tough teachings are important, So it's a fine balance and it's tricky.
It is.
Being a parent is the trickiest.
Because you also want to be, like you
thing
said,
you
you
could
want to
ever
be
do.
the cool mom too. When dad can sit there and have the same conversation you can have and get the results that's needed.
Yes.
Right? He might have to step in. I can only imagine he has to step in and kind of have a conversation that you're like, just go do it. And he's like, well, Kennedy.
Yeah.
Baby. So we're going to have to do this. What's wrong? That patience. So that, that patient, what is it? That gentle parenting.
Yes.
That I did not grow up with at all.
A struggle for me. I'm getting better.
Yeah, gentle parenting was a struggle for me because I had a husband who, I can tell you one thing, we are not together, and people always like, why are you guys not together? There is underlining things why.
Yeah.
But when it came to him being a parent to these kids, oh my gosh, I was like, man, I would have loved. And he didn't have it though. He did not have the love. He has been on his own since he was 13 years old.
Wow. Oh my
living
goodness.
in another country, coming to this country, didn't speak English. So he had it really different, but he came in with the perspective he's going to show his kids different than he was taught.
Yeah.
Right?
And sometimes that's such a good story about your ex-husband, that sometimes we learn the best things out of what we didn't have. It's really the things that we wish we had that make us better, and those are the things we do for others. Like, I want to give my kids, or whoever it is, your friends, because I'm like that with my friends even. I want to love on my friends the way that I would want a friend to love on me. I want to be the best, most supportive friend I could be. I may not be at everything, but when it matters, I'm going to be there.
Right.
If you're sick and you call me, I will feed you soup. I'll come over and grocery shop, clean your house, whatever it is. That is like the stuff that that matters, and I think that much of who we are, like your ex-husband, comes from what we didn't have, which is so cool.
Yeah, I see that, and I think for me it gave me a time to pause. I grew up in the household where if you touched something you weren't supposed to touch, you got popped. I was not beat. I would say this. I never want to put. I was not a child that in my opinion got beat, but you get popped for something. There's no conversation.
Yeah.
Pop, don't do that no more. Right? It's just don't do it. You'd be like, oh.
I remember those days.
When I started having my kids, I was the same way. I was like, no, you pop them so they don't touch the eye. You pop them so they don't touch the cord. That was my first daughter.
Yeah.
My second daughter, me and my ex got together and we started having kids together, but he was more so like, no, you don't have to. She's 2. You don't have to pop her. Let's talk to her. Let's have this conversation. And it took a long time. I'm super young at this point, but it took a long time for me to get out of that. But it's watching him. But I'd say, okay, you do it then. Then I'm watching him. But at that point, I'm like, well, shoot, I actually want to step in. And this approach is actually working.
Yeah.
She's not touching it anymore. She's not, doing what she's not supposed to do. And he's having a normal conversation. So why can't I do that as well?
Absolutely.
Just because it's what I learned. No, unlearn some things. It's okay to unlearn some things, especially when they were bad habits to begin with.
Yeah. There's more respect, and I didn't know this. I mean, I just knew what I knew, too. You know, my mom didn't really talk. It was like, swing at you. Pow, pow, got you, But my husband, his best friend is his father. And he gets so emotional about this anytime he talks about his dad. But everything about him, everything that he does, from getting up and making breakfast, pancakes on the weekends, he is so inspired by his father. And something that he always says when we have our little huddles about Kendall especially, I'm like, because I have my moments where I'm like, we got to toughen up on her. We got to, no, she needs to be, learn the consequences, and we got to, and he's like, no, I mean, yes, there's a way that we can do it and we can come together and meet in the middle. But he's like, my dad talked to me. He never raised his voice. And even when it was something I knew I did wrong, my father would just talk to me and I would just crumble because the level of respect I had for him, and I didn't want to disappoint him. And he gets so emotional about that, but he's like, that is what, he hasn't said it directly, but that's the unspoken thing in who he wants to be to his kids.
Yes.
They will always say that he was calm. He didn't really yell or discipline them. He let them be free. And I mean, Kendall just dresses how she gets up and dresses herself however it is. We say she looks beautiful, even when the outfit, girl,
it's not outfitting.
It's so funny. She will put on some stuff. I'm like, oh, my baby. But we're like, you look so beautiful. And you pull the positivity from that, oh, look, I like how you put that shirt with those pants. And you know, and just let them be free to think and be creative and make decisions for themselves.
Right.
So,
do you ever think back like, gosh, I wish I can go back to that childhood and have this for myself?
girl,
Yeah.
I say to my daughter, I'm like, girl, I want parents like you, like you got.
Yeah.
I want to live in your shoes for one day and see what is it like to live in the suburbs. I mean, my goodness.
Right.
You have Lifetime as your gym. I mean, she's living it up. This little girl, she gets to pick her dinner. She gets to dress whatever she puts on, she wears it. There isn't much that she is told to do, or there's not a whole lot of boundaries. And
because
so
it's
she
not
just,
needed.
there's no need.
It's no need to kind of have
She's
such
a
strict
good girl.
boundary because she's a good girl. Now, if you had a wild child,
Yeah.
you would set more boundaries, or you'd have to.
Yes.
But it's probably since the beginning you have kind
Yeah.
of talked to her and coaching her
Absolutely.
through, whatever trauma she thought she was having at 2 years old and temper
Yes.
tantrums and things like that.
Yeah.
To my point with my ex-husband, we did even stuff when it came to potty training, or whether we were going to do pacifiers.
Yeah.
And not do pacifiers and things like that. Let me tell you, my first 3 kids had bottles, pacifiers, slept in the same bed with
Yeah.
me. We, potty trained didn't start until around 2.
Yeah.
Just to not push them and stretch them.
Yeah.
My last 2, my ex-husband was like,
Yeah.
summertime, they can walk, let them go play in the backyard. Just put underwear on them. Let them in the backyard, our closed backyard.
Right.
I'm like, that is disgusting. And with
be
no
free.
shoes on,
Yeah, let 'em run
because
around.
and he was like, no. He said once it goes down their leg, they'll learn. And in
Yeah.
my mind, I'm like, this country
Right.
thing, you bring it back here. Born and raised in another country. No, we are going to do what we do. We're going to put them in diapers. That's disgusting. I'm not cleaning it. Let me tell you, both my girls were potty trained before they were a year and a half.
Yeah.
Neither of the 2 younger ones were ever on pacifiers or needed that extra coddling
Right.
for pacifiers, that you just hurry up and give them something to stop them from crying.
Quiet them. Yeah.
It was a whole different parenting. So I saw the difference between the first 3 and then the last 2. And I'm so grateful for them. Even how they are today.
Yeah.
My first 3, great kids, and they have a lot of stuff going on. And I'm sure one of them at least are going to watch this, so I'm not going to talk about y'all too bad. Them first 3. Hey, y'all. The first 3, they have all these different, just different ways of thinking. So when I allow the younger ones to be more free and be more opinionated, they're like, you would have never let me talk
my
like that. You
gosh.
would have never done that.
Yeah.
But the goal of it is let them get it out. Okay, I understand. I can hear you. But as long as you don't yell at me, as long as you don't slam no door in my face,
Right.
say what you need to say.
Right. Right.
I would have, the other kids, though, I was checking them quickly. Don't say
Yeah.
anything. You don't need to say anything extra. I said what I said. Go do what I said to do.
I regret that. I was
And
the
I regret
same
it.
way with my oldest. Tell me the ages of your kids again.
So 29 is the
Yeah,
oldest.
29.
She'll be 30 this year. Oh, my gosh. I don't know
don't-
how that
you
happened.
don't look like
Thank
a mama
you.
to a 30-year-old.
Hey.
Wow, you are goals.
Thank you.
Like,
Let me tell you,
really.
29, and then my son is 26. I have a
Okay.
daughter that's 24.
Yeah.
And then I have a
Grown,
19-year-old now, and then the 17-year-old.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
it was definitely a change. But I was so young, right? At 16, having my oldest, who's now about to be 30, I was going through the motions again. I just saw what I saw from my mother,
Yeah,
and
we do
unfortunately,
the
the
best we
things with
can.
my mother and my father.
Yeah.
And my mother alone, standing alone, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Her with my father, she allowed a lot of things in the household
Yeah.
that would just disrupt us a lot. But me seeing my parents, I just knew what I knew, so I just
Yeah.
rolled it right into my relationships
Yeah.
because I didn't know any better.
I understand. I do. I have mommy guilt a little. I know my oldest will watch this. This will be good for her to hear. How is your relationship with your 29-year-old, being that you guys grew up together?
did.
I'm very similar with my oldest. I mean, I was, 22 when I had her. And we're just kind of mimicking what we know and how we were raised.
Still going through our
and,
own
yeah,
traumas.
trying to figure ourselves
Figure
out.
out-
I didn't know who I was. I thought I did, but I didn't know who I was. So
Oh, I was, in my mind, I
then
was
there's
grown.
that. Yeah, you're trying to figure yourself out, grow, and raise a human. It's crazy.
Yeah. So for me and Bree, my oldest, it was for me though, because I had them young and I always felt like I had something to prove.
Yeah.
So I feel my guilt, my mommy guilt is I felt like I was trying to rush my kids to get older to show. See, they're going to get through school. They're going to do this. They're going to do this. They're going to do this. I felt like I didn't pause enough to actually enjoy them as kids. Because at the same time, I was like, my kids are going to be fine. They're going to go to school. They're going to have, they're supposed to have clean clothes. Great. They're supposed to have a house. Let me make sure I have this house. But at the same time, I'm working 2 and 3 jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm holding them to a stand. Don't embarrass me in public. Don't say nothing extra in public, which is a lot what my mother did to me, to stifle me from just being just like I am now, very expressive. I was not when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And for my kids, I just wanted them to kind of walk in the line. So my little cattle, that's bad to say, but I were like my little cat, do this stuff.
Yeah.
Get up, have a routine, do these things. Don't fall out of that, because you fall out of other people will think that I don't have my stuff together.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So if I can go back to when she was younger, I would have taken more time out for her, because I went from having her 4 years later, 3.5, almost 4 years later, I had my son.
Yeah.
And from having my son 2 years later, I had another baby, and I just kept on.
Yeah.
And I didn't, and it was just more so like having that one and moving on to the next one, get this baby old enough so you can join the path that you're supposed to be walking on, right? Coddling the baby, get him on the path, so now they're walking, talking, they're in school, great, boop, next. That's the biggest mommy guilt I have, that I'm constantly trying to bring back. So in my grandkids, because I have grandkids, with my grandkids, I'm trying to stop. My granddaughter was here recently, and she stayed for a week through her choice. She was like, I want to go to my grandma's house. I was like, oh, you want to come to grandma's house?
Oh, that's adorable.
And stay for a week? Well, grandma has to work. But let me try to figure out stuff that we can do. So a lot of times just kind of checking on her at night. She's 10 years old.
I was going to say, how old is she?
She's 10. Yeah. So going in there and checking on her, are you okay? Sitting on the bed with her, having her sit and watch TV with me. She was showing me all kind of, she has her iPad, and it's for kids, like the YouTube, or it's like I don't know if it's like a TikTok, or it's like a kind of TikTok or YouTube. It's for kids though.
Yeah.
So she's showing me all these funny videos, and though I did not want to watch that many funny videos, I was like, I want to watch it. Yeah. She said, Grandma, then she started to send them to me, text them to me. Did you see the new video?
So
now, granted, I'm busy, I'm working, but I had to say, nope, stop, and acknowledge that.
Yeah, live in her world.
And live in her world for a second. I was just like, you know what, I did. And then I was like, that was so funny.
Yeah.
Like, where do you find all these, trying to show the interest in what she's doing. And she was definitely happy about that, I believe.
Yeah, that's all kids want, I've learned, is they really want time, and they want you to stop washing dishes and doing the laundry. That's what my daughter thinks of me, because I am OCD and I am Miss Clean, Clean, Clean. Mm-hmm. But I am trying to be better and more conscious of, like, because my husband does it. Obviously, he does it great. He gets down on his knees, and he's the horse, and, he'll do whatever. He'll,
while you're getting stuff done.
He'll play ball with her, and he does things. And I'm like, let me stop. And that's something I'm being more conscious of, because she's 7 and she's growing fast. Like, time is just flying. And so that is definitely my mommy guilt, too, with my firstborn, that I was just trying to make a life for us. I was trying to make money, and I was deep in I was at the height of my music career and modeling, which is great, because you do want your kids to see you being an individual and being determined and pursuing things that you love. You want to show them those skills too, and not just, I don't believe that parents, especially mamas, should just be mothers. I might stir up some trouble with this, because I know that everyone has their way that they go about parenting, and parenting is such a magical thing that you don't know how you're going to be until the kids come. Right. Once you become a mother, especially a mother, there's so much magic in being a mama. However that comes, we just transform however, and you might transform and shut the whole world off and say, I am devoted to my children 1,000%. I'm not doing anything except raising them and being there for them. But my belief, just my personal belief, is, and the balance is so hard to kind of, be perfect and do this perfect balance. I think all kids will have some stuff. We can't do it. There's no way to do it right. But showing them how to not stop and give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Keep you know, following your dreams and be a parent. You can do both. You can still be sexy. This boobies is up today, baby. But you can still be sexy and, you know, be a mama. Being a mom isn't like wearing a turtleneck and, you know, not combing our hair and no makeup and, you know.
It's draining. It's draining.
It can be hard. And It
can be hard. It's draining to be able to balance those things.
It's
but
tricky.
I think it's so important to do that.
Yeah.
When you can get up and get out of how you feel physically. I'm physically tired.
Yeah.
I'm mentally tired even.
Yeah.
But I don't want to look how I feel all the time.
Right.
There's days, put on my sweats, throw back my hair in a bun or not let it free. And I don't care at all. Please do not come to my door. If you come to my door, I'm answering it like it is. I'm not going to adjust my crown at all when I open that door.
Right.
And then there's times where I'm saying, no, get up. You don't feel good in your spirit or whatever it is. Get up and fix yourself up.
Yeah.
This is how you want to show up anyway. This is not for anyone else but yourself. Just make that clear. This is not for anyone else yourself, but get up and get dressed up.
Yeah.
And do something with yourself, even if it's those sweats in that messy cute bun.
Yeah,
throw on
or
some lip gloss.
Set.
A cute
you know,
set.
I'm
yeah.
known for the sets.
Yeah.
I'll throw on a workout set, and I feel cute.
And you feel cute, and you feel sucked
I don't
in,
need
and
no
tight,
makeup.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You don't need all that. Just whatever makes you feel good. And sometimes when I had all the kids at home, it was times where I just had to go in my room and in my bathroom and just use that was my vanity time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, they were knocking at the door.
Yeah.
And they needed something.
So cute.
And they needed you to stop.
so
but
cute.
just having a moment to take care of yourself is so important.
It's so important. Ooh, we got to say that again. Taking care of yourself. No matter what you are. I mean, you know, we're moms, but just as a person that has all these people around us, whether it's kids or you have your friend circle or family, we have to take, and I'm saying this to myself, we have to take care of ourselves so that we can take care of others.
Absolutely.
That is very important.
Yeah. I was a mess
Very, very important.
about, let me see, when I was about 30, was it 32? 32. I was a mess at one point. I was going through depression. It was postpartum depression, but I was definitely going through some depression after having one of the surrogate babies. And I remember I was not present at all whatsoever for my kids. And at that time, and the biggest hurt I had at that point was I can't get myself back to just being present. No matter what I did, I was trying to be present. I was trying to be there, and I was just so down. And so those are things, and it's definitely very hard. I mean, there's I talk about on one of the shows about, you know, the option one was like taking medication. Medication was not an option for me. I got violently sick.
I'm glad you didn't and couldn't.
I'm so glad I couldn't take that medicine. I am so glad I couldn't take that medicine, but I was like, I need to try something.
Yeah.
Because the way I feel right now, and I'm looking around, I couldn't tell you what my kids wore to school. I couldn't. Those types of things really got to me, and so to this day, and this is, you know, many years ago, more than 10 years now. But more than 10 years ago, I'm constantly reminding myself of how I felt and how low I was, and I know it was a chemical imbalancing, but I also know that something else can be a trigger in my life later on. Something can really traumatizing happen in my life, and I basically am saying, if something does, Tanisha, remember to get yourself back. As you know, it's not how you got there; it's how you're going to get yourself back to being yours, as close to yourself, or new self that you can be, faster than just sitting. Because I was depressed for 3 months and didn't realize it. 3 months.
Postpartum is unbelievable. I don't know what other word to use, but it is. I've heard about it you hear about it. I don't know, when I was little, I would hear about it, and, you know, that word postpartum, but I didn't have it. So I have 4 daughters, just to you know, for those who don't know, I have 4 daughters. 2 I birthed and 2 are my bonuses. So they come by way of my husband and his ex-wife, and I'm so blessed that she could carry those babies for me. But when I had my firstborn, who's 21 now, my Sierra, I love her so much, I had the most perfect pregnancy. I was 22. I mean, I was on runways with a 6-pack, 6-7 months pregnant with her. I didn't start showing until I was maybe about 8 months into the pregnancy, and I felt so good. I had my belly out all greased up with little outfits, belly shirts, and I had the what is it, morning sicknesses the first maybe 4 months. I mean, it kind of went, it went a while, but then it ended and I felt great. I didn't have postpartum. I bounced right back after her. Having Kendall, which is years later, Kendall 7, so 21 and 7, there's a huge gap there. I just want to hug myself. Me a year, 2, 3 years ago, I just want to hug myself. I just didn't know. I didn't even know I had postpartum. And I really want to do something about that. So this business that I will talk about very soon, it's really around all of the things that I wish I had that I want to provide to other mothers. I want to just share wisdom and resources, information. There's so much I didn't know. Like wear a faja after so you could be snatched back up. Nobody told me.
I wish I knew about fajas then.
Nobody told me, even while you're pregnant, keeping something around the belly to like just keep your skin and have everything just form back and snatch back up after. I did not know.
I didn't know anything about that.
But postpartum, I had it for maybe 5 years. Like the whole time we've been here, I'm just getting out of it. I'm just getting back to myself.
It can last for a long. I did hear people say that.
I couldn't believe it.
Me recognizing it early on helped me. And now, granted, if I look back into 2 years from there, it still was some remnants from that. There was still some hold up from everything that I was going through for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I assumed, they say it takes a year for us to heal after having a baby.
True. Every time.
I think that year is really 2.
Dang,
I don't even know if it's a year. Yeah. And then, so I just assumed, you might get postpartum and have these emotions and things happen, but it'll be for that year that you're healing, your body's getting back together. No, this thing can last for many years. It really can. And if you don't have the right support and help, bless my husband's heart, he tried the best he could, but he didn't understand what I was going through. I couldn't get out of bed, I remember. And then you throw a new city in there. I mean, we moved to Vegas during the pandemic. I have postpartum. I'm, Kendall's 1.5 and not really talking and all the things. We come here with no support in a whole new city, no friends, no family. And then 3 weeks into us moving here, the world shuts down. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
So you put all that together.
And the depression, postpartum depression.
Depression.
Depression. Yeah. I can't imagine. So what I did was I didn't know if it was going to work. The postpartum, my first child, I had a little bit of postpartum and didn't realize it was. I was 16. I didn't have bills. It was something going on. I didn't realize it. I just didn't have it was different. I didn't have a connection to her. My second baby, my daughter it was the second time I had postpartum. My daughter was 2 years old, and I was a surrogate. So the baby wasn't home with me, but I still had connection to my babies as much as I could. I didn't feel that same, but I just felt like I had no energy. I had no motivation to do anything. Yeah. Scary thing is I'm talking to a therapist at one point in time, and I said, no, I'm not depressed. I'm not suicidal. I'm not, and I'm not there yet. She said, there's 2 different things. She said, there is depression where you are so down to where you don't even have the energy to pick up a knife and do anything, or you don't have the energy to go somewhere and do something and to harm yourself, to go find the pills. You have no energy. And I said, that's where I was. I was in this sunken place to where I didn't have the energy to do anything, whether it's do anything on the flip side to get myself out of it or do anything to harm myself worse than I was. I was like, I think the worst harm I could do to myself was just be there and not get up and do anything. So the second time I was a surrogate, some years later, I didn't know if it was going to happen again. And I surely did not want it to happen. And I'm now feeling back to normal, somewhat normal. I'm in a new relationship, dating and things. I was like, I don't want him to see that what I felt was like my crazy manic moment that I could not control. And so I wrote myself letters for my bag to go to the hospital. And I told myself I'm going to read them at the hospital. So starting with that.
That is so cool.
I didn't end up, and I don't know if this helped at all, but I basically was so afraid. I said, you're going to feel depressed. If you are crying, if you are hurting, if you are, don't have the energy, it is normal. It's
That
okay.
is so smart
because I
to
didn't
do.
realize that the signs that you said you were depressed and didn't know for so long, I didn't realize I was depressed. I didn't realize why I was crying so much and
Yeah.
couldn't, like, I looked at my fingernails and started crying.
Yeah.
And I just got them done.
These just
It was just weird, random
weird
stuff.
emotions, yeah. And you just don't feel. Mine was like, I've always, had to work on my confidence. I was a little shy girl growing up, and I think all that shushing too, the old way of parenting, and you can't really speak out and speak up, and so. Confidence for me has always been a struggle. I right now struggle with it. I'm like, is my hair okay? I want to like look down at myself and fix myself. I'm like, ugh. But it was really on a 30,000 with this postpartum. I mean, I felt so ugly. I hate to say it. It's so sad, but I just felt horrible about myself. I couldn't pull it together. I look back at pictures, how your phone will show you, the memories and all the things pop up. There are pictures that pop up from 2020 and 2021, and I'm just like, oh, my baby, me.
Yes, that was me.
Oh,
yes.
my baby. I mean, you could see it in my eyes and my skin. I was trying to figure it out. I mean, I lost sight of all the beauty things that I know, and my hair's always been healthy. I just have never really struggled with like the beauty skin side. And I mean, here I am, skin is just all types of crazy, hair falling out. And I mean, the weight, I couldn't figure my body out. And I didn't feel comfortable in my skin was just the hardest. That was so hard. Yeah. And trying to then be a sexy wife. And, we talk about spicing up the bedroom and all that. It was a hard knock life.
Right.
It was a hard knock life for a minute there.
Well, let me tell you, that is definitely dedication for both of you to get through that.
We got
because
through
for
it,
us,
babe.
For us as women, though, I mean, some of us don't, but I know for me as a woman, I didn't want someone to see me like that. So if anything, I'm going to push you away.
Yeah.
And I tried to. I've tried to push any and everything away. Friends, family, whatever it was. I was trying to push people away because I didn't want you to see me in my misery. I wanted you to see me at my best or not see me at all.
Yeah.
And that's not a good way of thinking. I definitely don't feel it is. If people, and granted, you learn who will be there for you. But if people are going to be there, allow them to be there. Yeah. Allow them to see, allow them to understand. They won't understand fully.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand what you're going through. You don't understand.
You don't understand. Right.
But allow them to see you at where you are. And if they're still around at the end, that, oh gosh, I love you even more, friend. I love you even more. Thank you so much, my family. I understand the true value of family because when it gets hard like that, when you're not connecting with anyone, when someone's saying, I'm still going to be here. Yeah. Not, ooh, she's tripping.
That's a really important tip.
She's
for
a little off right now.
Yeah, like anybody struggling with postpartum or just depression or anything like that. That is such a good tip, too, because we do isolate. That is one of the symptoms, if you will, or side effects of any form of depression is you isolate and you don't want to be around people. Staying around people, forcing yourself to be around people is so helpful because while we don't really understand what's happening to us, maybe somebody else will. Maybe they can, whatever it is about them, can help us come out of it or realize some things that push us forward. So that's a really good one because I definitely isolated. That was the other thing. I've always been a social girl and I just couldn't for the life of me. I would just sabotage everything. Everything was sabotaged. Right. I didn't go anywhere. I have all these friends that I stopped keeping in touch with, So all of that, it's a thing. I am so fascinated. Look, I'm jumping to different topics.
This is good.
I'm so fascinated with your surrogate journey. And I know you spoke about having, this postpartum, carrying someone else's child. I have 2 questions for you. Okay. So the first one is, do you keep in touch with the surrogate babies?
I do. So we're still on social media. We used to actually, so funny enough, the two babies were, the parents both worked at the company I was at. So we were both at the same company. first baby I got to see more than the second one because we've moved, but and we changed jobs. But they used to be at the same company I was, so that's one. And then two now is just social media. We're in different states right now, but it's just social media. I still hear from them on my birthday. They still hear from me on theirs. We have the first baby. His birthday is coming up this month.
Oh my goodness.
And so it's one of those things I want to make sure he gets. I send him a happy
that's so
birthday and reach
sweet.
out. And he'll send back a thank you. The parents were really good about making sure. The mom was really amazing about doing stuff, but making sure they knew their journey of how they got here. They had been parents who have adopted as well, and it was important for their kids to understand the background and where they come from. They did the same with the babies. So yes, I do keep up with the boys.
That
Two boys.
is so amazing. That's so great that they are supportive of that and want you to stay connected to the baby. Because some people are like, I've heard different stories of, all these rules that people can have. Like, they don't want you, the baby's in your stomach, by the way, but they don't want you to have any type of connection. And then they want to cut it off. As soon as the baby comes out of you, the baby gets pulled from the person that it's been with all the months, I'm like, every to each his own.
And
but
I don't know
think
if that
it's
was
beautiful that you keep in touch.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful.
I don't know if the first one. So the first surrogacy baby was an emergency C-section. So right after having the baby, pulled. I'm asleep. I'm out of it. I'm in recovery.
Yeah.
So that was trauma.
Yeah, that's a different situation.
So I can't tell you if that actually connected to why the postpartum was what it was. A lot of people don't have that as well. But the baby went from being with me to pulled, and it was just traumatic to have this baby that way. And then the second baby I did it really differently. I was like, I want to actually have time with the baby. I want to sit with the baby. So cutting the umbilical cord, we got to do, and I got to have like time with him, just holding him and just being with him for a little bit. And we did that because I said, I don't know what all happened with the first one and what could have caused the postpartum. But really, selfishly, it was like, I wanted this time with the baby, to make sure, I have a little moment, just take a beat with him. You're going to go home with your family for the rest of your life. Let me get a moment with him. And so I had about an hour and a half, which is not long, but it was way longer than I had the first time.
Right.
Before he was actually, in another room, and I didn't see him until that evening. So.
Wow, so two boys.
Two boys.
You birthed two boys. For other people.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And I know you had another question, so I wanted to make sure we got to that.
So what made you after the first, well, okay, so two-part question. What made you get into surrogacy? Like, how did this come about for you?
Yeah. So, we talked about it. So one of the things I had never knew about being a surrogate, really. I didn't know what it entailed. Like, I didn't even think about it. It wasn't even, I never met a surrogate. I knew what the word was. I know what that meant.
That's
meaning you
upper
carry someone's child.
girl,
Right. That's
Rich
something
folks
else.
have those.
They do that, right? Just because they don't want to gain weight.
Okay.
Or
listen,
they can, but
right.
And so that's in my mind. That's how it was. It was special cases when someone would have a surrogate.
Yeah.
And when it was presented to me, it's because I was in HR and doing leaves of absences. The parent came to me with another leave of absence from another loss, and I knew this wasn't the first loss for this loss for the family. So I just offered it up, and let me tell you, it was definitely for me. It's definitely going in the book for this one because I literally sit there and I told the dad of this story. After the second surrogacy baby, when we're sitting in the room and hanging out with the baby, like the next day or something, I said, I didn't tell you this. I said, but I didn't know if I could be a surrogate or not because my tubes were tied. I thought it was impossible. You can't do that.
Right.
It's straight into your uterus, but I didn't know this. So when I said, you know what, if you need a surrogate, I'm looking, I'd be looking to, to help you. Just let me know. I literally was at my desk and was like, what did I just say?
Not the HR lady offering her womb. Okay,
right,
listen, talk about supporting the people.
Is that appropriate at work? Is that work appropriate? I don't know. We did keep it private. No one really knew. No one knew until they knew later on. But it was really one of those things. But I always say it was definitely another, whatever you believe, it was definitely divine for it to happen that way.
Yeah.
Because again, never that day, I was not supposed to even talk to that dad about his leave of the wife's leave of absence. My boss was going to. My boss came to me 2 hours before this and said, I might be in a meeting. If the dad comes, here's what you need to do. I wasn't even doing a leave of absence. I didn't even know what to do with the leave.
Yeah.
He just told me, take this form. He's going to give you this form. Give him this form.
Right.
And that's it. That's how quick the
And
interaction
it
was
turned
supposed to
into
be.
a surrogacy journey.
2.
Wow.
I had both the boys from this family. So.
Wow. Okay. So that was my next question was after the first time, what made you do it again? And I was thinking maybe you did it with another family.
No.
But to do it again for this family who wants to build their family, that makes sense.
I honestly, it was one of those things to where I had already offered the mother that and said I would do it again if they did it within the time before I was 30. I think I wanted to say before I was like 30. Before I was 35 or something. I think I said 35. Before I was 35, I do it again. I was older than 35. So 37 at the time.
Wow.
And the mother came to me and said, "Would you be interested in doing it again? We have tried a couple more times. We've lost some more embryos." And my heart was like, there was not even a question. Now, granted, I told you I was dating someone else, someone new.
Yeah.
So to have to spring this on a new relationship and say, well, it wasn't even a question. My first answer was yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I then had to have the conversation and tell the person I was dating, I was like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it if you are not going to be a part of this because I understand it's a lot.
Right.
And it took him a minute, but it was
okay.
for me to do it again. It was one of those things to where same thing. It was heartfelt. I felt her pain, and I was like, if God is going to allow this to happen, my womb to do this again for you, you are going to have another baby.
Wow.
Oh.
You are, bless you. You are a superwoman.
Oh, thank you.
You've had five
of my
your own children and 2 for this couple. 7 babies have come out of you, girl.
7.
That is, wow, remarkable.
7. Thank you so much. We
That
got
is
so
amazing.
much. Oh my gosh. I'm loving this, and I hate that we have our time, but
I
we
know,
have
we
so
could keep
much
going,
that we
huh?
can talk about. Well, we're
Yeah.
always going to have our nights to go sit out at a lounge
We
and
should
be cute
tonight,
and
girl, so we
right.
can keep it going, keep
the
the convo
conversation
going.
going.
Yes.
We'll keep our conversations
Yeah.
going, but like I say, people, I know I connect with people so well on this. I love these conversations. I want us to have more like this. There's so many women. There's men who need to hear the side from a woman's perspective and what we like, because we talked about that today, and what we like and the simplicity of showing up for somebody and actually caring for somebody, what your husband does for you.
Definitely.
And then the conversations we had about just our childhood and upbringing and things that were
how
hard.
It's molded and shaped us.
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah. So we got to keep those conversations going.
We do.
Over wine.
We do. We do.
Okay.
And promote healing and
Yes.
being, on a healing journey, because it's going to be forever until we, leave this place.
Yes.
It's never ending.
We're going to get the audience more information about your business as you put it out there.
Definitely.
Because I want you to get that out there. But I want to say to everyone, if they are looking for you, well, with your businesses, is there any business that you would like to actually promote today so the audience can know where to find you? Because I know for the most part you have a personal page.
Yes.
But is there any public page that you would love people to kind of follow your journey of this next chapter?
Absolutely. So, speaking to my heart right now is this new business called When Mamas Link Up. So anyone who is trying to connect with me and any mamas and anyone who just wants to learn more about what, When Mamas Link Up is, you can find me on Instagram only right now. I have no other, I can't keep up with social media. So I have the one and only business page right now, and it is at When Mamas Link Up. You can also connect with me because there's just a plethora of things that I'm involved in. And it's my whole credentials. It's at Autumn, AUTUMN, Joy, my middle name, JOY, Edwards. And you can find me there. And, I really, at this time in my life, I just want to connect with people. I want to connect with women particularly. I want to just, dig in and learn more about women and just be supportive of them, and there's magic when we link up, and that's what this whole business is about, is the magic that happens when mamas come together with our superpowers.
Yes, can you imagine? That's a powerful room to be in.
Yeah, so it's a community that I'm building, and I am so excited. Like this business, I love all my businesses, but this one, I stay up at all hours of the night. I'm like just so excited and just pouring all my creativity into this. And I just look forward to building this community where we can all support each other, party together, You know, have our kids come together, even the fur babies, because there's some mamas that have fur babies. You know, we can't leave those types of mamas out. And however you're a mama, you know, grandmama, mama,
Yeah.
you know, bonus moms,
Bonus moms, that's
everyone.
awesome.
And we just need to link up. We really need to stick together, especially, and you know, we could go on and
Yeah.
keep going, but with especially the way the political climate is, we really need each other and we really need to support each other. And I've always admired men and how they work together, stick together. My husband has these super long friendships that, you know, him and his friends are so supportive of each other and so connected. And I just wish women, we could let our guard down and be like that more.
Absolutely.
And that's what I want. I want to work on that. So, yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, this is Autumn. Autumn Joy, and who loves to love on other women and to make sure we're supporting. So let's love on her back. Go follow her page, like and subscribe this page, if you will. And I will see you next time on the T. Smith Experience.